All right, we're here with Mikey Romero, and Mikey, first off, a belated happy birthday to you. He just celebrated his 22nd birthday on Monday. How exciting is it to be up here in Boston as part of this rookie development program?
Yeah, it's great. It's just fun to be here and learn the city, get to meet fans and interact. Get to get some work done too on the baseball and weightlifting side of things. But it's just special to be in this clubhouse, to be able to walk out and go see the field. So it's been a great experience.
As part of the city and the fans, what are some examples of things that you've been able to do up here in Boston?
Yeah, so yesterday was my birthday. We went to the North End, got some good Italian food, had a really good, it was like a coffee / dessert place down there that we went to. It was really good. So just being able to walk around, you can kind of walk everywhere here. They took us on a trolley tour, got to see kind of all the famous landmarks and stuff. So there's a lot of history here, so it's just cool to kind of dive into it.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with any of that, especially the North End aspect of it. Again, you're 22 years old now, but when you were drafted, you were an 18-year-old. So pretty over 4 years have passed since you joined the organization. When you reflect on that, what do you think about in terms of how much you've grown as a person and as a player?
Yeah, I think a lot of people know kind of my story a little bit. Drafted in 22, didn't really play in 23, had injuries, and then 24, 25 came back, and I felt like I came back, swinging. Had two really good years these past 2 years. It's been great to see just the growth. Obviously faced a lot of adversity as a young man in my career, and I'm grateful that I kind of rolled with the punches and bounced back, and I'm excited to continue to work, and it's pretty cool to see where I'm at now.
Yeah, last year you were healthy. You played 111 games between two levels, and you've talked about this a lot. The underlying metrics too. You're hitting the ball harder last year. So now that you're on the cusp of the big leagues, what are the big keys for you? What were the big keys for you in the offseason to go and hit that next level and being here full time?
Yeah, I think I kind of got punched in the mouth, a little bit in my first week in AAA. It wasn't, my first kind of 10 days didn't go great. Struck out a lot. I felt like just kind of, felt like I wasn't succeeding. And you look at the numbers, you look at kind of what I was doing, and it was just clear that, I was, chasing, I was overswinging, and then kind of as we honed that in, that's when I started seeing the success up there. And I think going into the offseason, I kind of had that same mindset of, hey, let's be selective. I can do a lot of damage when I'm swinging at the right pitches. So going into the offseason, it was a lot of just swing decision training, seeing shapes that are really dirty, move a lot, and then that's kind of been it, just seeing the shapes and stuff.
And being in AAA, it's an interesting mix of young guys like yourself that haven't gotten to the big leagues yet, but then there are guys that have had a chance to be there, and they can relay some of their experience from getting to that top level. What was it like being in a clubhouse with guys like Trace Thompson or Nick Sogard? Did you lean on them during your time in AAA?
Definitely. Sogi for sure, just because he's an infielder, and he's, obviously played in the show. Just talking to him, I love picking his brain because he's just a baseball rat. I enjoy talking to him, works his tail off, has a lot to offer, and my locker was right next to Trace, so I had a couple cool conversations with him just about, the big leagues, about players he's played with, and it was cool to just pick his brain as well. But Sogi being the same position as me, even a guy like Nate Ian, it was fun to just talk to them, see how they handle their business, watch their routines. I felt like I learned a lot from both of them on how to be a pro, so it was good.
I think you probably know this at this point, but Red Sox Twitter, the Red Sox fan base, especially this time of year, they're always starved for content. So when they see those Story camp pictures, they get pretty hyped. You were there, you had a chance to be with Trevor Story and all those guys in Texas. What was that experience like?
It was a great experience. You kind of learn what an offseason is supposed to look like, and you see the way that he works and the team that he has around him, and I think of myself, and I'm like, when I'm in his position, I want to have the same thing where I have an awesome facility, I have a good team around me who wants to see me get better, and who's pushing me every day, and it was cool to see just how he takes care of, how he handles himself, takes care of business, his routines, and just honestly fun to see him work and see how he has fun with it, as well as is really serious about it. So it was a great experience. You know, him, Jaron Duran, Roman Solo, new guy Tristan Gray, Wong was there for a little bit, so it was good. It was good to see all of them, and it was good to get work with them.
And I want to ask about Marcelo, because that's a relationship I know that dates back even before both you guys joined the Red Sox, and this organization back-to-back years drafts a shortstop in the first round, Marcelo, then you. Just take me back to the early days of you and Marcelo Mayer and how that relationship has progressed.
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing since I was probably like 15, he was 16. And we played travel ball together for the San Diego show. We traveled everywhere, you know, Georgia, Florida. Those were kind of the main two stops, Arizona. But just playing with him was obviously super fun. Like, you knew from a young age that like he was just crazy talented, and obviously he still is. But like, it's just fun to grow up with a guy and then go into an organization with a guy who has been one of your best friends for a long time. So it's been great to have him. You know, I lean on him a lot with just everything, whether that's defense or hitting or just what's it like up here. So we have a great relationship, and you know, I'm excited to hopefully play side by side him at some point.
Final thing I had for you: you have two older sisters that were stellar softball players. What was it like growing up in that household where you had two older sisters that could kind of guide you in your own specific path?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty competitive. Like, I just had them over for Christmas, and there's this game that they play in the Dominican. It's called Vitilla. It's like a bottle cap game, and I bought it for us to play. I mean, it was pretty competitive. You know, it would get a little chippy, and it's fun just to have them. It's almost like having brothers. You know, whenever someone's like, "Oh, you grew up with three sisters," I'm like, "Yeah," but they were, you know, competitive and kind of tough on me. And then I have a little sister who plays softball at Boise State, so we got all baseball, softball in the house, and it was just fun growing up with them, and the competitiveness, the love we showed each other, you know, the ways that we lean on each other with, you know, just baseball and softball. It's cool to be around.